enroll him on the main case because we've linked him positively so.
Okay,
But it's
so
still
this is a parallel case to the case that's in black ink.
Indeed.
That's the main case.
Indeed, Commissioners.
Okay. And then the final example is at page 130, 131.
Umkomas want this case. It's when we look at our reference, is the second last case. It's in black, Commissioners. The first three.
Before you talk about it, I have a question on this because, you know, you've provided the dates of each of these taskings which show that there was work on investigation happening up until recently, but this date is 22 October 2020. So that was some time ago. Does that mean that there hasn't been work done on these?
Yes.
On this case?
Reason being,
Umkoma's case.
Yes, reason being, this case of Umkoma's, it was a parallel to the main case, which is the first one, 125. How did it become a parallel? After we identified the suspect, we conducted a intelligence-driven operation, and we arrested the suspect. And when we arrested the suspect, we found 2 firearms. We took those 2 firearms to ballistic, 1 firearm linked with the main case, which is 125. The other 1 firearm, which then became under that case with red, did not link. But because we found it in possession of a suspect, we needed to continue with it. Subsequent to that, the suspect on 125, the shooter on 125, main case where a civil engineer director of civil engineer was shot and killed, was also linked on 110. But why 2020, as the senior counsellors asked? When we took that matter to court, circumstantially, we got witnesses, but there was no eyewitness. That's one of the cases which the prosecutor said, because there's no eyewitness, we can't continue. That matter was provisionally withdrawn. But what is important in all this is the fact that we were able to deal with this suspect. As I'm talking to you, on the 125, there were 4 suspects. There was a hit orderer, there was coordinator, and 5 suspects. Hit orderer, coordinator, and 3 hitmen. But the other hitman was shot and killed before we arrested him. The 2 hitmen and these other 2, which is a hit orderer and a coordinator, were found guilty and sentenced to life imprisonment each for the murder of that victim on 125. Therefore, in essence, one can say, yes, Umkomas, there was not enough to deal with him, but then the same firearm that he used on Umkomas, there it is, it's linking at 125, and he was then found guilty and sentenced to life imprisonment.
So it's the same suspect
it's
from the
same
case
on
that
both cases.
where you didn't have enough evidence to go forward. You
Indeed.
were able to link him to another case, you were able to link them to another case.
Yes.
And they've since been convicted and sentenced.
With that. Maybe the other thing that I can mention, which I forgot to say, on the one where we were requested that we must apply for Section 205 and we must link, this is the Harding matter. Commissioners, I must say that one of the suspects that we were asked to apply for call data, we dealt with the suspect precisely so. He's a former police officer from crime intelligence. He was into taxi industry. He was moving to politics. Therefore, through his journey, he shot and killed one of his friends. And during that scene, that's where we then saw the other external factor after the shooting coming and picking up cartridges. So these are things that you want to avoid, and we could see that through the video footage. And on the other matter, he shot and killed one of the taxi association member. And that suspect, or accused as we are talking, on those two cases, he got 2 life sentences and 40 years. He's behind bars. So those are some of things that we do. If we are failing this side, we've got something that we can neutralize the accused on. Thank you, Commissioners.
Okay, thank you, Colonel. So I think you've now comprehensively addressed the results of the inspection reports and tried to explain the work and examples of how some cases may look a certain way until you dig a little deeper into the work of the team. Can we then now go back to paragraph 24 that we overlooked in order to finish the theme that you were dealing with? And paragraph 24 is where you address the evidence that was given by Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi before this commission when he mentioned that there were 5 cases in which there were warrants of arrest issued. And you wanted to explain that statement. So can you please do that with reference to paragraph 24?
Thank you, Commissioners. Indeed, General Mkhwanazi was not wrong when he gave those figures. When you look at paragraph 24.1, I think I dealt with this matter where I mentioned that 2 suspects, J50s, were issued, and we had numerous intelligence operation in locating them, but then even to date we haven't located them. And as we are gathered here today, one of them is no more, so there is still one outstanding. And then we, unfortunately, Commissioners, because we are not fully capacitated, we don't have the intelligence people that can go out there and try and locate them. It's the investigation and locating of such suspect is a little bit slow because the IOs, they remain most of the time at court for the matters that are on trial. And with the new investigation, because now the dockets are back and members are working. And then on 24.2, those 3 dockets are linking. The 3 of them, and when the team then briefed the prosecutors did give a verbal authority that they checked with the team, I think last month, and they did tell me that they have submitted a application for J50 for authorization so that because they don't have the capacity of intelligence, if this suspect can be circulated and be assisted by the community, that will definitely assist them. Indeed, the verbal was given. And then to 24.3, that will make 4. And then the last one, as I put it, that is a more complex one, Commissioners. The main case there is that 184. On 184, 2 suspects were identified, being the shooter and a spotter. A J50 was then issued for the shooter because he was fully linked. And while the J50 was issued, while they were still on the run, they committed another attempted murder. If you page to page 13, Commissioners, you will see that case number 170. And on the same case, both suspects were involved again, a shooter and a spotter on 184. And luckily, the spotter was then arrested on this 170. Remember now, J50 is still there for the shooter on 184. And on 184, last year, December, we then got information that the shooter on 184 was shot and killed while still on the run. And the spotter on both cases, on 170, who was arrested and linked, he got bail this year, 2025, May. And the following day, after being given bail, he was shot and killed as well. So we couldn't bring him to the case of 184 because he's no more. Because as well, the dockets were here, nothing that we could do. Therefore, these 5, I'm saying this with confidence that indeed what General Mkhwanazi spoke about, it's true. Thank you, Commissioners.
So you're saying there were 5 cases in which there were either arrest warrants or prosecutor instructions to arrest?
Yes.
Okay. We can now, and then if we go forward, we've dealt with this already because it was your response to the report. So the next paragraph for you to deal with is paragraph 31. And this is under the heading work done by the team since the dockets were returned, the 121 dockets. So just to be clear, so you received the dockets at the end of August.
Yes, Commissioner.
And you're saying, look, the letter of disbandment was 31st December.
Yes, Commissioner.
And we know that you said that between then and the dockets being taken away, there wasn't much work that could be done by the PKTT.
Yes.
What was the complement of the PKTT before the disbandment, so in December 24?
The total capacity of having all the disciplines. I'm referring now to the operational analysts, our call data analysts in-house, our DFI. I've explained that DFI is digital forensic investigator, dealing with video footage, extracting of cell phones and so forth. Our DFO and ICC, which is we term ICC our intelligence gathering team. Without them, I must say that since then, because they had to be withdrawn as the team was scaled down. And
Colonel, let me take you one step at a time. The question is, how many members were there?
We had 98.
98 members in December 2024.
In December, yes.
And you're saying the composition
yes.
of that team included analysts, like the analysts you've just mentioned.
Mentioned, yes,
forensic, ballistics, etc., etc.
Yes, Commissioner.
And by the time the dockets were returned at the end of August 2025, how many members were there in the PKTT?
56 members without operational analysts.
So from 98, you went to 56?
56.
Okay.
And then in those 56, we only having detection, combat members. It will be seen as one PKTT is not working, but because of we don't have full capacity. Beside the 121 dockets that were returned back, already the team has been given 6 new case dockets. There is 9 that were reported since December, but then they say they are currently having 6 that they are working on. But the work won't be, intense because they don't have the full capacity.
So the analysts, these include crime scene experts, right? Who you would say are integral to your investigation. Is this like Captain Wanda, for example? We've heard in the commission from Captain Wanda. Is Captain Wanda one of those experts?
Yes, we lost the likes of Captain Wanda, which was a crime scene investigator or examiner.
Oh, so Captain Wanda is no longer a member of the PKTT?
He's no longer. We had 5 in December. So after the letter and the team has been scaled down, we don't have any. Therefore, the processing of the crime scene, revisiting of the crime scene, and ensuring that we get the tracking of this exhibit is not gonna be as quick as when we were capacitated. That includes the ballistic, because we had 3 December. Right now, we don't have any.
So the progress is not as quick as you would like it to be then?
Indeed, Commissioners.
But in paragraph 32, you give us examples and where progress has been made.
Yes, I should maybe read it on record with your permission, Commissioners. The following progress has been made since the dockets were then returned. And on this particular case, 3 accused individuals were charged on the 5th of September. This is after the dockets were returned. And since then, bail was denied and all of them are still in custody. This is one of the dockets that was in head office. And then
32.2.
That is the Ndwedwe case where we mentioned that there was a J50. The team is currently understaffed and are waiting for additional crime intelligence to assist with locating one outstanding suspect because the other one is deceased.
So this is not really an example of progress being made. This is just a report.
Just, yes. I think this also, it talks to why there's no quick turnaround in investigation, positive investigation.
32.3.
Then these are the 3 cases that we mentioned, and then on all 3, these were where the verbal approval was given that J50, members can go and arrest, but then we have subsequently submitted a J50 for the approval, and upon receiving that, we will then follow the process of circulating this suspect. It's 4 suspects in total on the media, and hopefully the community at large will be able to assist in locating.
32.4.
This case, one suspect was identified, and the docket was since submitted on the 17th of September to the prosecutor for their decision on giving us a go-ahead to go and apprehend the suspect.
Okay, it says for a decision on 17 September 2025. There's no further update that you have?
So far, no, I haven't received any further update.
And 32.5.
On this one, 2 suspects were positively identified and investigation is complete. Therefore, the docket also was submitted on the 5th of November 2025 to get further directive and a decision from the prosecutors.
Okay, thank you.
And you say this is over how many months?
This is since August. This is 3 months, if one can put it, or 4, yes.
So the progress you're telling us about is what, only 4 matters? I'm not stating this as criticism, but this is only 4 matters.
Yes, it's only 4 matters, Commissioners, and I should mention the fact that majority of the time the members remain in court. I don't know if the commissioners are following the news these days. There's been a lot of success in terms of conviction that are being circulated on the communication platforms of the investigators' time. But then with also the new docket, as I said, that when a new docket is reported, the team focus on it in order to persevere and secure the evidence that might be tempered or, as we said, the video footage that might overwrite and so forth.
But would you not also say that perhaps this is a function of the significant reduction of the PKTT resources?
It is. That is why on paragraph 33, Commissioner, I've mentioned that due to the fact that if the team can be capacitated, the team will be full in its working swing, and there can be fast progress in terms of investigation and taking the matters back to court.
Thank you, Colonel.
Thank you very much, Commissioner.
Thank you, Chair. Okay, so the last chapter you deal with then is the effect of disbandment on the work of the PKTT. Now, some of this you've already spoken about. We've just had heard from you on what the impact has been on the team being scaled down, and the impact on, therefore, the progress of investigation of the dockets. So you don't need to repeat that evidence.
Yes.
But can you tell us about the other aspects of the effect of the disbandment with reference to paragraph 34?
The members were, commissioners, receiving a lot of dissatisfaction from the victims' families, from the victims that are involved in attempted murders and so forth because of this letter. And whenever the members receive such, they need to tell the TAC job commanders. And the TAC job commanders need to take it upon himself or herself to engage with the families, because that's one of our strong points of engaging all the time with and give progress to the family members. But I must put it on record that from the 121, not all of them have reached out on us. Even us, we've never reached out to all 121 family members. But then a few of those have, and the members of 34.1, the commander had to phone the victims' families there that are reassuring them that investigation will continue, be it that the team is no more there. Investigation will continue. If the team still remains and dockets are brought back by God's luck, then the team will continue where they left. And then if we page to page 18, on 34.2, that's one of the instances where one of the prosecutor was saying some remarks that the IO was not happy with. And the IO immediately then informed the commander, of whom the commander reached out on me that, hey, Colonel, we're having issues, because if now the prosecutor come and mention such things to the members, why members, what's happening, because the task team has been disbanded on the media. What must the members feel like and all that the PKTT members are not around, while the PKT member was there at court. So this had a serious impact, not only on the victims, but then, in a broader aspect. And that also includes the 34.3 and 34.4 commissioners. And I think on the 34.4, it's worse in a sense that it affected the member directly as well, whereby a J50 was executed, then the team had to go and charge the suspect. And whenever we do this, sometimes when we want to obviously charge the member or continue obtaining the warning statement and so forth, with warning statement, you interview the member. There's a document, SAP document that you complete and all that. But then when the team arrived at that particular station, as it's stated on sentence number 3 of paragraph 34.4, the branch commander, Lieutenant Colonel, informed the members that they are there unlawfully so, because there is a letter that has been circulated that they are disbanded. You are in the middle of investigation, commissioners, and you receive this. The team didn't tell me immediately, because I would have driven there and tell them that you stay here, you are police officers. These buildings, property, it belongs to government, and you are employee of the government. You shouldn't leave. Or I would have phoned the station commanders. But the members, for peace sake, they left, they went to another police station. This had an interference and it's affecting the work of PKTT. Then the next one, maybe I will go to,
Rest by family. Is that-
indeed.
Okay. And there were attempts made to then allay their concerns.
Yes, Commissioner. And
Okay, so
the
34.6?
34.6, there was an article, let me see this one. There was an article that was circulated by one of the analysts, expert analyst, Mary Dihas, who then supported the motion of the residual of one of the prosecutors that dealt with this particular matter. And then the motion was then...
Sorry, Colonel, just to correct you, you referred to her as the expert analyst, but not for the PKTT.
No, not for...
Talking about an
he's not,
independent
yes,
commentator, expert.
as per the comments and everything on social media and so forth. And yes, so she supported that motion and wrote things and all that the PKTT is disbanded and the team's not supposed to continue doing investigation. But now on this, he particularly pointed at the prosecutor that was dealing with this matter. And subsequently, an application was brought that the advocate must recuse himself. And in short, the judge on that particular matter delivered a judgment, and the application was heard and was dismissed, commissioners. And as we are talking, that matter is at court, and therefore the matter was resolved, and the trial is going to continue on the next court date. So this is the extent of the letter.
Sorry, Colonel. You say now it's resolved and the trial will continue, but you say that on 23 January 2025, that's when this application was brought by the defense for the recusal of the prosecutor and for and the arguments about the unit having been disbanded.
Yes, Commissioner.
So since 23 January 2025 and today, there's not been any further movement at court on this case. All that's happened is that the application has been...
I can't give the exact date when the application was turned down or dismissed, but I know for the fact that it was dismissed. It's that I don't have the date. Maybe it was my mistake for not getting all the facts on this particular dismissal of the application.
Okay, and it's...
So your understanding, Colonel, is that the judgment may well have been after 23 January 2025?
Yes, but later or mid-2025, advocate, because I think beginning of this month I was somewhere in KZN, and that's when actually I was told that it was dismissed, but then I was not given the exact date when was it dismissed.
Unless I misheard again, you seem to mention the prosecutor only, but in your statement you referred to the removal of the investigator as well. Did the case involve that as well?
No, it was the prosecutor, but then I take the prosecutor because it is collaboration between the PKTT also as dedicated prosecutors. But it was the prosecutor particularly on this.
Let me just read. Advocate Mahlamela for the accused noted that the task team was accused of misuse of power, arguing both the investigating officer and the prosecutor should be removed because the unit has been disbanded. Is that something else now outside of the case?
No. This might, it's as I'm saying that I might have captured wrongly, but I will get the facts right. But I think from the the media circulation, this is how it was written. But then if I can talk to the prosecutor or the IO just to find out even the PKTT was involved or not, because I know that the same Mary Dihas lady was one of the people that was saying PKTT is abusing power, their powers and so forth and so forth. Yes, so it might be that they included PKTT IOs, investigating officer, but I will check with the team and revert to senior counsel about it.
Thank you, Colonel.
Thank you, Colonel. I think that brings us to the conclusion of your statement. Before you read paragraph 35, in conclusion, is there any other issues that you wished to place before the Commission?
Commissioners, maybe let me first state, as I've already mentioned, the impact of these letters to sometime in 2021, we had to come and brief the National Steering Committee that was chaired by the former National Commissioner General Sithole at one of the venues here in Pretoria. And based on the report that we prepared and looking at the work that was put by the team, General Sithole uttered words that gave hope and trust that whatever that PKTT is doing, it's within the line of policing, and that they are doing a great job. He said PKTT is PKTT members are pioneers of modern policing, because he said whatever approach that they have brought has brought new dimension of investigation, because these are the cases that were given to previous task teams, they failed. And here they come with this approach of a 5-pillar, they are able to solve the cases. Further to that, there were numerous officers from head office that were deployed with the task team. Others, they came and attended some presentation. I will mention of Lieutenant General Sibiya, who once attended a briefing session at Durban, and then subsequent to that, we drove to Nongoma, whereby the PKTT was investigating a murder of a certain NFP councillor who was shot and killed, but the motive then revealed that there was corruption whereby certain money of the municipality was used to fund some of the killings. And in that first appearance, that was in somewhere mid-2024, for fraud and corruption, there was accused, which is the MM of the municipality Nongoma. There was the CFO as well as the supply chain manager. General Sibiya hailed the team for the excellent work. And it was refreshing to hear that we are doing a great job, because I was driving General Sibiya on that particular day. And the witness that was here earlier on, Major General Motsepe, once visited the team, and she stayed at Durban for a week, monitoring the team, attending our meetings and so forth. She was very pleased by the work that was put by the team and the standard of investigation. And she gave, the respect to General Khumalo. If I recall very well, I think General Khumalo was a brigadier of Major General by then. But then Major General Motsepe applauded the team for the great work that she witnessed. We at some point had a Brigadier Mngwabe, who then came and was working closely with General Khumalo at Majok, who was actively involved with investigation, because on the sessions he will be there and advise. But out of all that, he mentioned, because I will now and then engage with the brigadier, also trying to suck information and be able to enhance my investigation forward. He was very thrilled.
Just so, Colonel, you don't move too far away from General Mutsipe.
Yes.
Would you be surprised to learn that in her testimony today, she said there's really nothing to write home about the operations of the PKTT? As I understood her, she was basically saying the PKTT is just like any other investigative section of the South African Police Service. There's nothing special about it. Would you be surprised to hear that? Based on what you say she actually said when she visited Durban for a week.
I'll be very surprised, Commissioners, considering what she said then and what she said today, because that will be contrary to what she said, or maybe it was just to please us then. I don't know. But it's surprising that she will utter such words. But from the onset, she was pleased and giving advices wherever she had to give advices. And we appreciated and respected that too.
Thank you, Colonel.
And then, and lastly, Commissioners,